Hello and welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars on... Oh my... Could you guys please never... You never interrupt me when I'm doing the intro.
You said hello. I was just saying hi back.
We're a top of the charts podcast now. You can't fuck up the intro.
When did this happen?
Forget it. Rated 5 stars on iTunes by Bainsley101. He says, every time I listen to one of these, it makes me jizz a little in my pants and I can't wait for more. Bainsley, clean yourself up. You're disgusting.
Fucking disgusting.
Every time I record, I jizz a little in my pants.
Guess who's back this episode?
I'm back, boys!
Why are you across the room? Why are you like on the other side of the room?
Outside?
I needed to make some sort of dramatic entry. Fuck, come on. It's been a whole 2 weeks, man. Give me a break.
Hasn't it been 3?
No, fuck, I don't even know anymore. I lost count of time.
Yeah, you can't count to 3.
I can't.
All that weed you smoked.
Yeah, it's been 2 or 3 episodes since Zuckles has been on, but he's back now. Guess who's not here? McCreamy. There's no excuse. He just didn't show up. He just didn't show up today. Okay? So
think of his shit.
I mean, we record the podcast at the same time every week. I don't understand how he didn't show up. But no, he's not here. But no, I'm joined today by iNut, aka Matt.
Yo.
Toby, aka John on the Radio.
Hello.
SwaggerSouls, aka Eric Vivian Matthews.
Okay, stop. Stop!
And yeah, Mason's here too. And I'm Fitz. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Fitz.
Thanks. Now, just a brief introduction here, because we might have a lot of new listeners coming in who don't know what we do. They don't know what what our channels are. They just saw this podcast at the top of Spotify, which is where we're at, by the way.
That's insane.
And they were like, yo, let's check this out. So if you're listening to this and you're above the age of 30, I suggest you just turn away right now. There's nothing for you here. If you're my mom and dad, same goes for you. Get the fuck out of my face. But for everyone else, we're just a bunch of YouTubers. We're from all over the world. I'm from New Zealand. Toby's from New Zealand. Zuckles is from Australia, if you couldn't tell. And Matt and Swagger are from America. And we just do gaming and we just tell jokes. And we're basically just wannabe comedians, but on the internet. So yeah, this podcast is just us telling a bunch of stories and just kind of,
shooting the shit.
Yeah, shooting the shit, bit of behind the scenes for our YouTube careers and shit. I don't know. People seem to enjoy it. I don't understand why.
I think it's our voices.
It's probably the voices.
Yeah, mine especially.
Oh, yeah. No, you should probably not talk, eh?
Classic. Shit.
Just another thing I want to address right at the beginning here. We're getting so many tweets, and I knew this would happen. We're getting so many tweets being like, oh, you missed a golden opportunity to call it the Misfits podcast with a Z because, it's Fitz and like Misfits, get it? Because that's like a fun...
Oh, that's genius.
We know that.
Why didn't we think of that?
I figured of the name while baked on 3 space cakes in the car ride to Germany, by the way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know this.
That was when we were on the way to Berlin. We were in the car, and after they took the 3 space cakes...
And I'm like... Misfits.
Yeah, we were trying to think of names in the car, and I had a whole note on my iPhone about it. We had like 10 names, and Misfits was one of them that I put 5 asterisks next to.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wait, so did Mason think of the idea while he was high?
Oh, very high. Very, very high.
Did he think of it with the Z or the S?
The S.
Okay, cool.
And then he said, "Oh, maybe we could put a Z like Fitz," and I was like, "No."
Yeah.
He was like, "All right,
obviously, this isn't my podcast, and by putting the Z on the end of it, it would kind of make it seem that way, and it's just kind of I don't know, it's just unnecessary,
Yeah, it's dumb.
Plus, putting the Z on it is so 2008, what are we like?
Yeah, what are we, fucking gay?
Were we a boy band?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What would our single be called if we were a boy band?
Anyway,
yeah, I think it would just be called awkward.
Nice.
Also, another thing that we got to get out of the way at the beginning here: Gamescom. We've been talking about it for the last 2 podcasts. We've been all excited to go to Germany.
Yeah, we're hyped
Gamescom.
to go.
Guess what happened the other day?
What happened?
Manager Ryan comes on Discord. He's like, "Boys, I got some bad news." We're like, okay, what's up? He's like, my wife left me. And we're like, okay, we don't care. He's like, but I got some more bad news. And we said, okay, what's up? He said, they canceled the Germany trip. So we got the news the other day that the company we were working with, that will go unnamed, fuck them, by the way, Basically, wait, I can't. Do we actually talk about the company in previous podcasts?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. No one's going to know.
Matter.
Just fuck them. Just don't say their name.
I could have got a picture in a tank. Fuck.
Okay, whatever. I stand by what I said. Basically, we were working with a ad company to get our flights paid for, accommodation, everything, to go to Gamescom, to work with this brand and represent them at Gamescom, right? Now, the brand itself basically ran out of money and decided not to fund the trip. So we were just kind of left.
Dropped the agency.
Yeah, they just dropped the agency. So the agency's like, oh shit, now we've spent a bunch of money on this and we can't get it back. And manager Ryan's like, oh shit, I spent a bunch of money on flights and I can't get it back. So not only can we not go to Germany, I mean, I guess we could, but we're not.
Yeah, with what money, cunt?
Yeah, it's just going to be way too expensive for no reason now. So yeah, we're kind of just left standing with our dicks in our hands, and
as usual,
which is a fine position.
Like in our own hands, though, like not like a weird shared thing.
It could be a shared thing if you want.
I don't want it to be a shared thing. I think that was just like
Fitz is too tall anyway.
Yeah, I'd have to get on a stool to put his dick in my hand.
Dude, you could use Fitz's dick as a diving board, boys. Let's be real.
What?
Okay, anyhow.
Okay.
So I was in LA and...
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about
nice
that.
segue.
Zuckles has been in LA for the last 2 weeks, which is why he's been absent.
It felt like 2 years.
Yeah, it felt like 2 years for us too. Fucking tell us about it.
I mean, well, I was over there and obviously it was in America, which is a completely different country, monk-ass.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but anyway, I was over there I was doing stuff with FaZe. We were looking into like me joining, and same with McCreamy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm back here now, so it clearly didn't work out. Nonetheless, the food in America is shit, and the pollution sucks, and it just wasn't doing it for me. I was going fucking mental.
The food in LA and the pollution in LA. So, Not USA.
Swagger makes this correction every time because he's so goddamn patriotic, you know.
He's like,
because I don't like LA. LA and California as a whole, more or less, is not the USA. It's not the USA. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Fuck LA. Fuck California.
All right.
Fair enough. No. So yeah, I mean, obviously you know that I went over with Mason and Jay, and also manager Ryan and Sam. So we went over there as a big trip. Like when I was there, when me, Ryan, and Sam were there, it was like, all right. And I kind of went home thinking, okay, Zuckles and Jay, they're going to be fine. Like, they'll be all right over there by themselves. Like, I was pretty optimistic about LA. I was wrong. So, yeah, basically what happened, I mean, you can explain this better than me about exactly what we went through. We can't tell everything, but basically they just didn't have a great time. And when I went home, and when Ryan and Sam went home briefly after, and Mason and Jay were left there all on their own, and I don't think you guys understand just how fucking retarded these two kids are. Like, they're really just like
out of the whole group, the last people that should have been there were us.
I don't know what we were thinking, like leaving them there on their own, but Mason, you had a full-on mental breakdown, buddy. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, fuck. So, I was smoking a bit of weed.
A little bit of weed,
but dude, I don't even know just too, I'm getting anxious talking about it now, but yeah, it was a lot of pressure, especially going into an environment like that and being myself who uploads once a month. Like, I was instantly pressured to be doing so much more, and I just couldn't deal with it. Like, I was fucking screaming at walls, you know, it was like something from a movie. I felt like something from Split, dude. Thought I was going to die. Everything was going to kill me.
What were you screaming at the walls?
Help.
Please, wall.
And by the way, guys, he's not joking. He genuinely had a full-on, he was insane.
I've got PTSD from it, and that's not even a fucking joke. But don't feel sorry for me. I'm home now and happy. Yeet.
Yeah, okay. I've never seen or heard Mason as happy as when I called him and talked to him in DMs, when he was catching his flight home from LA. He's like, dude, you saved me, Fitz. You fucking saved me, and all this shit like that.
That's not the first time I've said that too.
No, yeah. Mason will call me in the middle. This is a month ago. Mason calls me in the middle of the night, Like literally, I'm like right about to go to bed, and I get like my phone starts buzzing. I'm like, what the fuck? I pick it up. It's Discord. I'm like, Zuckles? He's like, Cam, God, you gotta help me, man. I think I'm dying. I was like, Mason, like, what's going on, champ? Like, you're gonna be fine. Like, are you on drugs? He's like, yeah, a little bit. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, where are you right now? I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of worried because he actually sounds really concerned. I'm like, oh, buddy, like, I hope you're not out in public on a train or something. He's like, oh, I'm just in bed, but I just think I'm actually gonna die, man. I'm fucking scared. And I was basically like, look, like, you're home. You got a nice warm blankie.
It was so awesome because I was like on Discord, everything, like the whole screen's black when you're in a call except for his icon. Yeah. So like my phone was above my head. It literally felt like I was looking at God itself. It literally felt like that. Because I was on edibles that night, so I was just fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not always on drugs, by the way. The only reason everyone thinks I'm on drugs is because that's when you hear the most about me, because that's when I come out the most.
Yeah.
And you're also just retarded. You just seem like you're always on drugs.
Exactly.
That's when you come out the most? I don't know. You came out a lot during Germany. Fucking Europe.
No. Anyway, I'm straight.
Spill the tea, John. Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Spill the tea. I'm happy for it. Go.
Just fucking all throughout. When we went on that first trip, all the boys and I, except you, Fitz, because you didn't fucking come. I don't know. Mason just kept on questioning if he was bi or not, and then he would go like, "Guys, I think I'm bi," and then he would go back on that at like a few hours later, like, "I'm fucking straight, boys." That was funny.
I'm still digging.
We were in Ryan's room after we ate all the space cakes, and we were like an hour into it, and he was like, "No, I'm definitely bi. Like, guys, like, I'm pretty sure I'm bisexual." And we were all like, "Are you serious? Like, are you joking?"
That was like, right after I broke up with my girlfriend. Yeah, okay? I was confused.
he's like, "I'm not joking. I think I am." And we're like, "Okay, Mason just came out to us. Cool. All right, good on you, Mason. You're bisexual. Cool."
I'd suck a dick.
No, hang on, stop. Everyone stop, because this relates very heavily to something that we experienced in LA, me, Mason. Okay, so Mason had this weird thing in LA. Like, we were hanging out with like, I think it was Banks and Keem, right? And like, and Mason just starts going like, yeah, I'd fuck a tranny. Yeah, I'd fuck a tranny. Like, I think I'd fuck a tranny. Like, probably let her suck my dick and shit. Like, all this stuff. Keem, who like really likes Mason, was like looking like the most disappointed father, like hands on his head, that's like pacing around, like, what the fuck? Like, you know, bro, like, I thought like I believed in you originally, bro, but like, you're telling me this fucking shit, and I feel like, you know, I just feel like I don't fucking like you anymore, and all this like stuff like that. Like, obviously, kind of joking.
Keem's not homophobic, by the way. He was just shocked by what I was saying.
It's basically like Keem viewed it as his own son, going like, "Dad, I think I want to suck a tranny's dick," or something like that, you know? Like, it's not that he hates trannies. It's just, is tranny even PC? Can I even fucking say that?
No.
Whatever.
No.
What is PC, Toby?
Transvestite.
Just trans. No, transvestite isn't
so
either.
Tranny's like the yoga
trans is fine.
I'm sorry, I'm from New Zealand. We literally fuck sheep over here. Like, we have low standards. I don't even know what sexuality is. No. So what? Is it? Okay, I'm just going to say trans, okay? Like, he was just saying that he wants to, like, he would have sex with a trans person, okay? And Keem
Hey,
was
no,
just a bit
correction.
shocked.
I said I'd let a trans suck my dick for like,
Yeah.
like that's...
Yeah, this is great.
Banks had the opposite reaction. Banks was like, you know, we could get you a tranny, bro. Like, we could do that for you. Like, he was like, and then he started like teasing him, like, dude, like, you're gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna like put a tranny, a trans person in your bedroom.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna move away from this topic because I just don't think I can continue without ruining my career. Not that it's already not ruined.
Holy shit.
You had a full breakdown in LA.
So bad.
Okay, just to also clarify one thing, because I feel like I have to say this to stand up for Mason. He didn't have a breakdown because he couldn't cut it over there, okay? Like, Mason is a hardworking guy, and like, he didn't come home and not follow through with the phase thing because he couldn't cut it or because it was, you know, too much. I mean, that might have been like, part of it might have been that it was too overwhelming and he was just a bit young, but it wasn't because he couldn't cut it as a person and a content creator, all right? Just got to say that to look out for my boy, all right?
Yeah, because it did almost sound like that.
However, there is a however. There is.
He went fucking insane. And for me and for Ryan, manager Ryan, it was almost like a full-time job keeping tabs on Mason and Jay after we went home. It was like every day it's a call. It's like, we want to come home. We want to stay.
We want to run away.
I think everyone's trying to kill me. Can we flee the country? Like all the stuff like that.
Can I get deported intentionally?
Like,
oh, shit.
Like what?
The reason I like the one of the primary reasons I came home is because like the whole opportunity itself got delivered to me in like the palms of Ricky's hands, and I was like, it was awesome in the moment, but once it went through, I was like, I haven't worked enough for this, you know. It's like that's why I've come home, so that way I can actually start working and just not get something like that given straight to me, because it's just not fair on myself. It's retarded.
I think you definitely were not ready in some senses, but it was also just like
100%.
LA did not agree with you at all. You know,
LA wasn't ready for me, man. Fuck.
If you follow Mason on Twitter, you would have seen the videos of him just like taping himself going, I fucking hate America.
I mean, dude, I was screaming at walls. I shat blood. Like, it was all fucking hell.
Like, if you follow Mason on Snapchat or Insta, like, you would have almost been questioning whether he was putting it on. I'm telling you, he wasn't putting it on. Like, he was genuinely going insane.
To be fair, Mason leaked his credit card on stream and then wasn't able to eat anything like himself or buy anything really himself.
I was
and
stuck
then he
with
had a
fucking
terrible
Farmer
diet.
Boys.
He had a terrible diet and then thinks he shat blood when really he just wiped too hard and there was blood there. And then and then he just fucking and he did a little flip, did a little freak out. Over in LA, and that was the breaking point. The straw that broke the camel's back was him wiping his asshole too hard.
He literally posted on Snapchat just a picture of his face and the caption, I literally shat blood. This is the final straw. No, there are a bunch of factors, but I mean, what's important is that you're home now, and you we all feel like it's the right choice, and you definitely are happy about it, you know, like, and now you're ready to get back to work and, you know, just do your thing, man. Like, you're gonna kill it either way. So
boy,
100%.
Yeah, kill him
with the Misfits, baby.
Mind you, poor Jay was all my fucking anxiety and just insanity was rubbing off onto him, and he's like the most sheltered person too. So it was all just going onto him, and it was just bad energy. I feel so bad. Oh.
Do you think that you and Jay are like closer as mates because of the experience, though?
If he hadn't have been there, I would have gone actually insane, and I probably would still be there now. So, I owe everything to him, honestly. Oh, speak of the devil, he is currently online.
Oh, is he
Monk S.
Maybe he'll join halfway through.
I think it's a perfect time. I think it's a perfect fucking time, to be honest.
Hey, it's Jay.
Hey,
what up, bitch?
Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome to the show. It's a special
Only 30
guest.
minutes late.
Yeah,
It's me. Yeah, I mean,
literally the latest person in the world.
oh, yeah. Well, thanks.
Had a bit of a sleep in, did you, buddy?
It's a little bit out of my control, but I appreciate
What happened?
the power just went out for the entire city.
I don't know if I believe you, to be honest.
It wasn't the city. It was
I was about to Google it. I don't know about that. Let me see.
yeah. It was like
Literally
my
the
street.
entire country lost power.
Yeah.
All right.
Literally the entire universe.
How do we bring him up to speed? It's good that you're here.
We just talked about LA and Mason going insane.
Oh,
You
God.
probably have a better perspective on Mason's actual craziness than whatever. It's all on the table.
Go nuts.
The audience knows, like, you know, pretty much everything. Like, what was it like dealing with Mason in LA?
Well, okay, so at first it was like, well, pretty much the whole time I saw him as like a little brother, because I was like, even though I'm kind of immature myself, I was like slightly more mature than him. So I was like, every time he'd freak out, I'd be like, okay, you know, everything's all good. We just have to not freak out. Like, and the minute it was probably the day after everyone left, that was when shit just started to hit the fan.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed that as each day passed, he was going more and more insane. Like, it was like a progressive thing. He was getting more and more crazy as time goes on. And that was...
So how did it start? How did like the insanity start slow and then turn
like
big?
what were the symptoms that you were witnessing him, you know?
Well, for one, we thought it was homesickness first, because he was kind of like, he was like, oh, I really want to go home. Like, he was crying when he was talking to his family and shit, and I was like, oh, he's just probably homesick.
Oh.
But then it started to get like more fucking weird, sort of like insane, like weird.
How
It's like
so?
some Jim Carrey shit.
It was, dude. He was like,
he'd wake up and actually he'd get bucks over, they'd smoke a bit of weed, and it wasn't like a good time at all. Like any of these times, and Bucks could also like attest to this, it was just the shittest time ever. Like they were just both going insane the whole time. They were talking about like, oh, Jay, seriously, man, like if you know how I die, you need to tell me. Like you need to tell me how I die, man. Like you're hiding for, and I'm just sitting there like,
were they on edibles or?
No, this was just like smoking.
Oh my god!
So we had a seg after you guys. No, just before you guys left, we had 4 nights in a row. We had straight sativa edibles, and that's the first time I've had sativa edibles ever. So sativa, that fucked my shit up.
Sativa's like the one that makes you energetic, right? Or like
energetic.
Yeah.
It's more headspace. Indica makes you really like couch locked, like you go
like,
roots,
like a body high, like sleepy and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, like he was just going. It was like visible insanity. He was saying shit that I was like, "You would you even say that if you're high? Like, is this just normal to say when you're high?" Like he was 100% convinced that I knew how he died, and I was keeping information from him. And this wasn't, and this like carried on after he wasn't high too.
You thought he had infinite IQ.
Yeah, and that shit was like freaking me out because I was like, is he like high all the time, or
Jay starts thinking maybe I'm the one that's high this whole time.
Dude, it was freaky as fuck because he was. It would be like a day or two afterwards, and I'd be like, surely he's not high. Surely he's not high. The concern, and then he'd come up to me and be like, dude, honestly, the world would be much better if I was just dead. And I'm like,
no,
please, dude, don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, Zuckles was saying a lot of freaky shit like that on the phone with me as well. He was saying stuff like, a few nights before he went home, one of the things that you said that really was like, I mean, like Ryan didn't even react to this because he just knows that this is what you get like when you get high, because Mason's kind of like an anxious guy, like just overall, like you freak out about the weirdest shit, like you freak out about just like random medical conditions that you don't have and all this stuff like that. So Ryan was like, okay, it's like, it's whatever. But for me, I was like, what the fuck? But so Mason it's like saying shit like, oh, like, I'll just stay and then I'll like jump off a balcony in 3 months and then everything will be fine because the universe will like realign itself and all this stuff like that. Like saying that like you're like planning to kill yourself like 3 months in the future so that the universe would work out and all this crazy shit like that. Like,
yeah, that was exactly
I was freaking out because I was so I can't put it into proper words. No one will really understand except for me. But I was just like so humbled by everything around me and all the people, especially like you guys, that it was just too good to be true in my head. That was the problem. And like I've never like experienced humbleness like that before, which is what freaked me out because I just didn't understand why everyone was treating me so nicely, because genuine, like through most of my life I've been treated well. I haven't been picked on or anything much, but like that was just starting like the peak of it for me. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Right.
Yeah.
This is all too good to be true. Like,
mind you, this wasn't me seeking for seeking attention or anything. Like, this was just me, like, how I really felt. Like,
yeah.
100%.
I was just scared, like, for no reason. It was just fucking dumb.
Yeah. You were, like, incredibly paranoid. Like, the most paranoid person in the universe.
Yeah, and then your fucking nose started pissing blood on the plane, which didn't help.
Oh, yeah, on the plane back from...
I was scared the whole way until we landed.
Context before like their flight home, when we eventually were like, okay, Mason, Jay, you guys just need to come home. Like it's got to the point where like you guys just need to come home.
Yeah, we had to intervene
tomorrow. Like we had like a little intervention and shit, and they were like, yeah, no, you're right. Like
they saved us.
We've decided to come home. And dude, as soon as like that decision was made, they just became like the happiest people. Like if you guys follow them on social media, you may like remember a post of like Mason standing on a pool table with like a pool like triangle over his head and a pool cue. Like they were taking all these crazy photos and stuff. Like Jay took this video of Mason like strolling out the door and shit to music. Like they were like so happy like all of a sudden. But when it came to them actually in the airport waiting for their flight, I was getting messages like, just so you know, Cam, like, I'm 100% convinced that the plane's going to crash and that something's going to go really wrong.
I was paranoid, dude. I was
Like,
so fucking
genuinely,
paranoid.
they thought, like, yeah, this is fate. Like, we're going, like, something really bad is going to happen on this
Jay
flight.
didn't think it was me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he actually made me think that too.
Yeah, he
Right.
believed it. Like, I was that, it was just rubbing off to him. And, like, I was just, because
yeah,
I genuinely believed it. I genuinely believed something was going to happen to the plane. I genuinely did. And I broke down on the plane, too.
It was scary as fuck.
So I imagine that when Jay's nose started bleeding on the plane, that was like the biggest monka S.
Oh no, I hit it. No, listen, I hit it. I knew for a fact that Mason was gonna freak the fuck out, so I literally just bled. I was like bleeding out on the plane, and I was just like trying to be the most quiet person. I was like, oh, please don't wake up Mason, please don't wake up Mason. And so I got the like bag that they give you with all of like the headphones and all that sort of shit, and I just put my nose in it and just let it run, and I was like, just hurry up and end. I was just
Mason wakes up
And then I looked over, and then I'm like, oh, are you bleeding?
it was
Were you
was
like
not good.
on the window seat or something? Could you not just get up to the
Yeah,
bathroom?
yeah.
Right.
yeah, I was on the window seat.
I was in the middle, which just didn't help. I felt so fucking
Oh, yeah.
isolated. I've never sat in the middle of a plane before, like in the middle seat. So
Yeah.
I was just like, I felt so squished and couldn't go anywhere, and I hate it, dude.
Weren't you guys sitting next to this like decent bloke though? Who was like telling you guys his
Oh,
story?
dude,
it
it was the best
awesome.
person.
We've got footage, so we're gonna probably leak some of that.
he said he did meth 8 times. That was awesome.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
I'm not saying his
Oh
name,
my god.
but that's awesome.
We're gonna have to blur his
What?
face
That's
out now in
awesome.
the videos.
No, it's just funny how he
was
brings it
just
up. It's like,
so-
yeah, I did meth 8 times.
What the
He
fuck?
was like a wog. He was a wog, and he like went to LA by himself because that's just what he does. Apparently, he just goes to countries on his own, and
Was
you
he,
can
like-
tell he's just a guy that talks to people. So he made like a bunch of friends in LA and just got fucked every night and did cocaine. And
Oh my god. Dude, no one just does meth 8 times. What are you talking about?
I know, that's what I mean. That's why it was such a like
You
awesome
know how
experience.
hard it is to do meth 8 times and not do meth more times than 8 times?
I know.
At what point is he like, okay, I'm only going to do it once. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
only going to do it 2 times. Okay, I swear, the 7th
Oh my
time and that's
God.
it.
Gets up to 8 and he's just like, nah, this isn't for me.
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad recently, and
Oh,
like
such a
I was
good
curious
show.
about meth. Not to take meth. I wasn't curious about taking meth. I'm never going to take meth in my life because I'm not a fucking retard. But I was like, man, I wonder like what people's experiences on meth are like. So I was like, I started Googling it. I was like, looking up on Reddit. What does it feel like to take crystal meth? FBI is definitely watching me, just so you know. But people were saying like just about how just unbelievable it is, like how like it fucks up your life, but like the high apparently is just like so amazing. Like it feels like having like sex.
Dude,
don't do meth.
Dude,
Don't do
there's
meth.
literally-
Do not do meth.
I read a trip report on Reddit of these. It's like r/tweakers or something.
Yeah.
So people take meth and then they write about their meth experience. And this one guy was jacking off at a Starbucks, and then the employees noticed and tried to like talk to him, and he was like watching porn on his laptop too.
yeah.
And he and they had to chase him out of the shop. He ended up booking it, knocked a fucking table over, and then ran out. And, and he evaded the police by hiding in a bush.
well, meth is like meth like fucks with your dopamine, right? Because like it's like literally just having like it's probably, I think it's like, I was watching a video. This may be like wrong information, but apparently like sex puts your dopamine up to like 200 units. Meth is like 1,500 units. Like insane.
Dude, imagine
like,
having
dopamine
sex
spike.
on meth.
So, dude,
Oh
that's what
my
they were saying.
God.
Like they were saying, like, dude, like I would rather, like this guy was saying, like I would rather jack off to porn on meth than have like an orgy with like 10 of the most beautiful women in the world doing whatever they want. Like he was saying that's how fucking like. But
Don't tell me that.
but no. But this is like the downfall, right? Like meth will fucking ruin your life, like for sure. So never fucking ever even think about it because it's a retarded thing you could do. Like you can imagine
Meth
how
is-
badly that level of dopamine fucks with your like reward system and everything. Like
Yeah, Adderall
next
is
thing you know,
pretty
you're
much
in meth every
methamphetamine.
day, and then your teeth
Yeah,
fall
for
out, and then
sure.
you've got no fucking life. So you know, we talk about drugs in this podcast. Meth, heroin, all of those big bad drugs, fucking not on the table. Please
do it.
never do those.
I really want to reiterate too that we don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
We just
No,
hang
of course
out
not.
and we smoke a bit of weed. Like that is the most we ever do. And if that, we don't even smoke weed all the time together. Like
Yeah.
Of course.
it's just you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're really not drug
funny
addicts.
story.
We just have a habit of getting into fucking dumb situations on weed. Anyway,
Yeah.
go on. Go on.
Yeah,
It's fun.
for sure. On the plane, Mason was just like completely anxious. Like on the plane, he was still thinking that it was going to go down, and it was nearing the end of the flight, like about I think 4 hours out.
The closer.
I was. It was about close. It was pretty close. We were watching Monsters Inc. like in sync. It was pretty fucking awesome. But he was just freaking out the whole time, and like he was just so anxious. And I remember what Ryan said. He was like, "If you're ever really anxious on a plane, just go beat off." And because I was kind of anxious too, I went and beat off on the plane, and it was like it actually worked. Yeah. But listen to this. Then I come back and I'm like feeling so good. I tell Mason, dude, just go beat off. And then he doesn't come back for 45 minutes.
No. But here's the kicker. I never beat off in the end. I got up. I'm like, dude, that is genius. That is actually genius. Like that is the only, because I hadn't beat off for 7 days, like in that period. And I'm a guy that likes to go one a day. But yeah, I actually went to go wait at the bathroom, and there were just so many people in line, and I started breaking down, and they had to put me behind a curtain and shit because I was just freaking out so much. I couldn't deal with
Really?
it. Yeah. I was
Like how? Like what do you mean freaking out? Like you were physically like pulling your hair out and shit, like being like looking really anxious?
No. I had my left hand on my forehead, and I just could see this fucking tattoo on my hand, and I was just like, I started shaking and shit, and then I was like, and I couldn't breathe properly because my mum has had the same thing on a plane before, but I've always just assumed that it was, you know, like I don't know how to put her issue. I don't know how to say it properly, but like I guess it's just I don't fucking know. I just started breaking down and shit.
So wait, did you end up jacking off on the plane?
No, didn't jack off.
He didn't. And like the WOG guy, because he sort of overheard us. Oh no, he didn't overhear us. Mason literally told him, "I'm gonna go fucking beat off." Yeah. And then like about 30 minutes in, he like looks at me and he just does like the jacking off motion, and he's just like got this really confused look on his face and just looks at me and says, "He's fucked." It was so funny.
The idea of him doing like the jerk off motion, but out of concern, is just so funny to me.
Yeah, it was so fucking
By the way,
hilarious.
I'm
He's just
pretty
like,
sure-
he's fucked.
I'm pretty sure jacking off on a plane is illegal. By the way, I'm pretty sure that's like an actual crime.
Yeah, but
Is
I mean,
it?
they
Well,
can't
I
see.
didn't commit any crimes, boys. I'm clean.
I've
Hey,
never done that before. It's
Let me Google that.
What have I?
like I'll
Is
kill a man, but I'll
beating
never
off
beat off on a plane. That's like one
A
line of the
plane
law I won't
illegal.
cross.
I mean,
Yeah, well, if you have feelings that the plane is going to go down, and the only way you're going to get over those feelings is if you beat off,
And
then hell,
plus, even if the plane
I'll
does
go
go
to jail
down,
for
at
it.
least you got one last nut out. You know, like it's a win-win.
yeah,
So
exactly. That's a win-win.
okay, so wait, would you get a result there, Swagger? Do you know if it's illegal?
let me say, do
let's hear
not.
it.
Yeah, number 1, do not masturbate on the plane.
I just hear a knock on the door.
It's an obscenity and indecency law, and you're also not allowed to be naked or strip naked. Don't use the F word loudly.
Okay.
Don't pick up.
Whoopsie, I did that so many times.
Yeah.
I was drawing really bad pictures.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, we have the funniest video. I'll have to like send it some other time, but holy shit, it's the funniest thing.
What's the video?
He was like on the plane. There was like this game where you could draw shit, and it was just him coloring in. It was so cute.
I think I saw that on
yeah.
It was so
Snapchat.
cute.
Oh, I saw a snap.
Yeah, it was cute until I drawed Hitler with a fucking
Yeah,
hand sign
yeah.
above his head.
And then proceeded to Heil Hitler on the plane.
Oh my god!
Oh my
idiot.
lord!
You guys are never traveling alone ever again. You know that, right?
The
Like,
worst
Managed to
part-
break.
We need to
worst
get
part was
Mason a
that We were
leash.
dying of laughter. We were dying.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious.
Even the WOG guy was loving it. He was fucking
Yeah.
loving it.
iNot, you willing to pitch in for a leash for Mason?
For a leash, yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah, I'd gotta strap a leash on
yeah,
him.
like those parents at Disneyland just fucking put a leash on Mason and
With
Jay.
the monkey like backpack leash, so it's not like you're actually leashing your kids.
No, I should get that, but just have the leash on the ground, like just drag.
You should make the
drag him
teddy a
behind
leash.
me.
Oh my god! But yeah, so we managed to break every single law on the plane. So that's good to hear. That's nice to know.
Oh shit!
What were the feelings when you landed, when you touched down?
Oh my god, we wanted to yell. We both wanted to just be like, yeah, fuck.
I know. But even that, I was still anxious until I got out of that airport. Just the tiniest bit, but I knew that I was good in the end.
Yeah. So and now you feel like back to your normal self now that you've been home for like a week, you know?
Yeah, a couple good nights sleep and haven't touched the weed, so I'm feeling very fucking good right now.
Yeah.
Been editing and stuff,
good.
so.
When were you thinking about smoking again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, how do you feel about smoking again? Are you like are you cold turkey, or are you gonna return back to it, or?
I mean, I got home and my brother, good old Cobes, was in the shed. And I was talking to him. Oh no, this is fucked. This is more fucked. So I think weed's just a no-go for me from this point on, to be honest.
Yeah.
I sat down with him and he packed me a bong and I was like, he's like, yeah, you should have one. You should have one. I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck it. I'm
thing you should
home.
have done.
Yeah, I know exactly.
God.
And I'm like, I'm safe. I'm fucking safe right now. Like, good. And so he packs me a full fucking cone, and I pull the whole thing at once. And like Kobe's eyes just lit up when I blew the cloud. He was just like, oh shit. Because I just went into a new dimension. Like, it was fun.
Oh my fucking god.
No, but let me tell you what I said. This is why I don't think I should do weed anymore, ever. I sat there, it went either one of two ways. One, I was either super excited and like loving life, and I was just like so hyped about everything. Or two, I'd get so paranoid, I'd shrivel up with a blanket and I'd just fucking shiver. I'd just be like that, and I'd just sit there and I'd be cold, but my chest is warm.
Yeah.
And when I get like that, my chest goes really like red, and like it looks kind of like a rash, but more like a allergy kind of thing, I feel like.
Like splotchy?
Yeah, splotchy. And I was like, even in that moment, I was still talking to Kobe about like all the things that happened. Mind you, shouldn't have been talking about it while high as fuck.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
not exactly like fun memories to relive while high.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just so convinced that when I saw Mum that I was going to have a heart attack on the spot. Like, I was just so nervous on seeing her because I was just going to be so overwhelmed that I'm home, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was literally telling Kobe, I was like, dude, I think that I can convince the whole world to kill themselves at the same time, including myself. That's what I'd say to him. Yeah.
What were
And
his
now-
thoughts?
He was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And then like, I'm like, and I stood up, and me being the gullible retard, I'm like, fuck yeah. And he's like, what do you mean, Mason? Why are you still going on about this? And I was just like, I went from like 100 to 0 in that moment. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. I was just like, yeah. That's when you know it's
Suicide Pact. Yeah.
I
not?
think you should take a big break, and if you do return to it, you should take it very slowly.
Well,
you know?
I think it's
Yeah.
honestly just that I'm doing too much. I'm
Well,
honestly
yeah.
just
Yeah.
doing too
Yeah.
much.
You think?
You don't
Yeah,
know how to
and
do a
it's-
little bit. You always go overboard.
I always fuck my shit up, dude, and it's a bad habit.
It
Ugh.
is a bad habit. No, don't worry. Like, okay, so at the beginning we mentioned that we're not going to Gamescom. We are around the same dates going to Australia for a lads trip anyway, because we got to work. We got to get those podcast stories. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
we'll
It is
see what
going to be
happens
late.
then. We'll update you then as to whether Mason returns to weed and whether or not he has another crisis. Hopefully, we don't lose him this time. I don't.
Yeah. I'm never doing weed again.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we did not agree with Jay very much. Yeah. No, okay, so I think that the audience may not believe like just how I don't know. I think they may believe that
Go,
you guys are
explain it.
exaggerating. But no,
Go
like
explain
Oh
it.
my god, we're
okay,
not.
I just wanted to say that like so I left LA first and left
Yeah.
Jay and Mason with Ryan and Sam, our managers, right? But a couple of days later, Ryan and Sam also left, leaving Zuckles and Jay alone. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what Ryan takes to be like at the airport? He was like, I just like totally broke down in tears about leaving Mason and Jay there. Like, I 100% like he was like genuinely like did not want to leave you guys there. Like he could just tell that like it was not going to be good.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was.
It wasn't, man.
I know. Like it really was. I mean, like all jokes aside, like they had a pretty bad experience in LA. A lot of it due to Mason's weed-induced craziness, but also due to some other stuff. But I mean, like,
Stress.
yeah. The moral of the story is never leave two retards alone in LA.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just
We
not,
need a caretaker.
you just 100%. You need a trip sitter just for reality.
Oh, that's so true. Holy shit.
Yeah, it really was a full-time job making sure that you guys were, because, you know, there were a few times when, at the beginning, when you guys were saying, like, oh, we want to come home and stuff, like, you know, I was willing to, like, give it the benefit of the doubt and be like, all right, they're just homesick, like,
Yeah.
I'll comfort them and, like, you know, and then they'll be okay for, like, the next couple of days. But, like, literally, it was, like, every day it was, like, we're staying, we're
Every
leaving, we're
single
staying,
day.
we're leaving. Mason's talking to a curtain, we're staying, we're leaving, we're staying, we're leaving. Mason
Oh
thinks
my
that
God, it
everyone
was
is
so
going to, like,
scary.
Mason thought that everyone over there was trying to kill him at one point. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Like
was-
he literally
Yeah.
thought he was going to be killed in his sleep by like his friends.
yeah, like real weird shit. Yeah.
Really weird.
You gotta, I mean, yeah.
Maybe you
I
are
wanna-
schizophrenic.
Maybe. I told you
Nah,
I'm schizophrenic.
I
I'm
think I
telling you.
blame it all on the LA weed, dude. That shit's too strong. Like-
Yeah.
Like,
It's dangerous.
I honestly though, the positive thing about all this, now that I'm home, like, and I look back, like, I got so much life experience condensed into one little segment. Like,
oh yeah,
holy
Yeah,
fuck.
for real.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I've come out, I feel like I've come out, I'm not going to say an adult, but just very much more mature than I was before I went. So,
Yeah.
you got a new perspective on life.
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay too. I mean,
It was
Jay,
crazy.
as I've mentioned before, is from a really small town in New Zealand and has never really experienced anything like that before. Unless I'm wrong about that, I don't think I am. So for you,
Yeah.
it
It was
must have
like,
just
it was
been
like hardcore co-op, dude.
It was, dude. It literally was. It was like legendary co-op.
Yeah. Fuck.
Escape LA, the video game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Duos.
For real though, like, I owe everything to Jay. If he hadn't have been there, then I
Oh
would have
yeah,
gone insane.
100%. If I wasn't there, I know for a fact that he would still be there right now.
Yeah.
And it's fucking scary to think about.
That's the thing. Like, Jay will only really see it from the real
Yeah.
perspective because he was actually there for the whole period.
I dealt with it firsthand.
I cannot wait for all of the fan art on Tumblr of McCreamy X Mason.
Oh,
It's going to be so
I
many
mean,
after
dude,
this episode.
I'm not gonna lie, no homo,
Yeah.
I fucking love the guy now. Like,
Mace
holy
Creamy,
shit.
man.
We should totally talk about GBG on Tumblr.
Oh god,
Oh yeah, I
Totally
delved
talk
into that a
about-
little bit.
I did too, dude. It was very
Oh my god, no.
Interesting.
I was actually on Instagram last night and I was looking at all my message requests because I go ham on replies. And two of us got added to this group. I think it was me and you, Cam, and it was like a couple of the people that do like those kind of things. And I was like scrolling up to see some of the stuff they said, and then I went past one of these messages like, I wonder if any of them are actually going to come through and lurk and see what we say. And I was just like, "Oop, okay, leave comments."
Okay, just for context, guys, what we're talking about is basically our stans, I guess. Stan is the word for stan is what you get when you combine stalker and fan. It's like a fun term on Twitter and Tumblr for like diehard fans of people.
Yeah, they
You know?
call themselves
Yeah.
that. It's not like
They call themselves. It's not. Yeah,
It's not
a mean thing.
derogatory.
Yeah, it's like they call themselves stans. So if you stan Fitz, it means like you're a diehard Fitz fan, or if you stan Swagger, and so on. Basically, we discovered on Tumblr because we were just because Tumblr is where you go for all the weird shit, you know, like that freaky. Tumblr's like 4chan, but for like Tumblr's like 4chan on the other side of the spectrum. That's how I view it. It's like holy shit, like these guys
If you
are
want
really
pictures
into
of
stuff.
iNoToRiOuS kissing Mason, then that's where you go.
God.
That's where you go.
God.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
You know,
Yeah, just fuck me while you're at it, Matt.
You're pretty awesome, man.
like no shame for the people who do this. Obviously, they're just passionate about stuff, and I think that's great. But
I think it's
it
hilarious.
is kind of weird being like content
I mean,
creators and
yeah.
going on Tumblr and looking up your hashtag, which by the way, our group's hashtag is #GayBabyGang, which
You can thank yourself for that, Fitz.
Dude,
you can thank
I'm like-
yourself for that. But no,
You're
you
the one
scroll
who put it
through
in
and
the
there's just
video.
like you scroll through and there's just pictures and pictures like fan art. There's like all our Snapchats and Instagram stories are saved, like all these like fan edits, like fan fictions, all this crazy shit that people put the time into. Like it's wild. Like it's kind of weird, but at the same time humbling at the same time to go through it all. You know?
Yeah.
I personally love it, but at the same time, like, I think, what if like we met one of these people at an event, you know? And at the same time, like,
Probably
I'm
have
happy.
already.
I'm happy to give a big fucking hug, but I don't want to get raped. You know, like.
I think people who do this sort of stuff are probably pretty tame in real life. You know, like
Nah, honestly, yeah, for
Yeah.
real. That's why I'm kind of keen for it. You know, I'm keen to
I
like
think-
meet an actual diehard. I'm keen to meet a diehard fan.
Honestly, all I want out of life is just to love myself as much as my Tumblr stans love me. You know,
I think,
Oh, that's a fact.
I think my favorite fan fiction ever written about me was Price of Love. The Price of Love, SwaggerSouls X Reader. That was a nice one. It was really good.
what was
I
that
like
about?
the sex scene. I think, if I recall correctly, it was about a contest that I make in this fictional universe where I live with somebody, no matter who they are, for like a month or something, and then this woman wins. So I live with her for a month, and then things get a little saucy. So, so very, very nice.
Damn, it
Very
sounds like a
good.
full-on like romantic novel. You know,
Yeah.
How long
I
was
guess
this
it
thing?
is. I'm not too sure. I think it's like a couple pages, maybe like a couple chapters. I'm not. I didn't read past where it started getting weird because it was making me uncomfortable. Because when you read a fan fiction about yourself, it's just you picture it like, oh, this is me. I'm supposed to be sticking my penis
Yeah.
in that thing right there. Okay.
And they'll like describe you like they'll like write you saying things that you'd never say in real life and all this stuff as well, like talking in a way that like you would never in a million years talk like you'd be fucking the hell out of some chick, you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, bitch, fuck yeah, and stuff like that. It's like,
You'd be
holy
like
shit.
punching the shit out of him, like whipping him with belts.
Stuff
Like, what the
like-
fuck? Like, oh, God.
Yeah, there is some weird shit on Tumblr, but you know, we love
Oh,
you.
for sure.
Thanks for watching. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out
Also
to Gay
filled with-
Baby
with-
Gang. Shout out to all the
Also filled
stands.
with awesome fan art.
Oh, super
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
my-
fan art's so awesome.
My personal favorite was the fucking Bigfoot one of me, where it's drawn and I'm like crawling in the shadows. You know?
Oh,
that
yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
one? Yeah.
Oh man. Wait, do we have any stories from New York? Because that photo was from New York.
We went to that tower thing. What was that called?
The World Trade Center.
The World Trade Center.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
the
shit.
tower
Oh
thing.
fuck.
I was
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was only in New York for one night, but the main thing I remember at New York is that it was actually the first time that I heard the Poland story. I sat like
We're all
the gang,
baked out for mind.
the gang was all
We
together.
told
I
you
was
that.
actually dead sober, but everyone else was baked. Chad was there as well. Anything Reviews was there, and they were telling
We
this,
had like 20 boxes of chicken.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mason. Oh, dude, Ryan ordered like fucking like 5 things of Popeyes, 2 things of KFC,
Popeyes.
like 3 orders of McDonald's. Like we went all out. We were
Ryan
we were
is
fucked.
the king of ordering food. Okay, like if you like go to Ryan, I'm hungry, you will be granted with every cuisine in the world of unlimited varieties.
That's so true.
The whole apartment is just filled with like fast food and like also weird gourmet shit, like dumplings and shit, like fucking like.
He gets like
He goes
pasta.
I don't even want to think about how much money our manager Ryan has spent on Uber Eats and Ubers alone for our group. Probably enough to put him like in debt.
Yeah.
Easily.
100%.
But no, like yeah, you guys. The first time I heard hearing the Poland story from all the members who were involved in person was really something else. Like I know, like everyone says they love the podcast. If you want to listen to it, it's episode 1. Everyone says they love the podcast. I'm telling you, hearing it in real life, like with like switching perspectives and like them like being all like expressive and like it was amazing. Like I was
You're
genuinely
acting it
so
out.
entertained.
Yeah.
It was like an episode of like How I Met Your Mother mixed with The Hangover mixed with like what's that like fucked up like Project X or whatever, that like teen like crazy party.
Yeah,
I don't fucking-
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like literally like all of those combined. It's amazing concoction. I loved it. Yeah, man, I want to get back to New York. New York, I was only there for a day, but I
Yeah.
have really good memories of New York. I love that city. Way better
I
than
love New
LA.
York.
Oh yeah.
Damn,
LA's
sorry.
trash.
NYC.
East side, what up?
LA is so trash.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, LA people fuming right now in the iTunes 5-star reviews down below. Well, what do we want to, because we haven't planned, now that Germany's cancelled, you know, the whole country itself totally cancelled, we have to kind of
that's
not on
plan
the
what we
map.
want to do instead. We are going to go to Melbourne, I think, instead, and have a lads trip for Toby's birthday
Yes.
and for Ryan's birthday, but also just to have a good time.
Mason's birthday.
Yeah, stop forgetting about me,
Yeah.
cunts.
I'm sorry, I literally,
Oh, yeah, true.
I would, but I just do not actually care at all.
Oh my.
Mean.
No. What are we gonna do? Like, do you guys have any ideas of things? I mean,
Ooh. All right.
Not smoke weed.
We're gonna get really, really drunk.
never
We're gonna get
doing
really, really high. We're gonna get really, really drunk again, and then maybe we can go to another. We can go to like a casino, or
Yeah,
or
and
we
I'm
can
gonna sit
go-
in my room.
maybe
Very nice.
maybe we can go like cage
Me and
diving or
everybody.
something. We can do something wild.
I want to see Swagger bungee jump.
Oh fuck! No, I don't want to do that.
We should write up a whole bunch of like crazy ideas that we could do while like inebriated. Obviously, nothing like too wild, but like things that like could just lead to amazing stories. Put them all in a hat and just like every night just pick one and be like,
Yeah,
all right,
make
we're
like a
doing this.
bucket list.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so good for a vlog.
Speaking of bucket lists, in LA, we went to a comedy show and we actually got to hang out with Steve-O.
Oh, true.
With
And
Steve-O.
holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Steve-O drove us there.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
okay,
awesome
no.
was
Start
that?
from the beginning. Like you met Steve-O in LA. What happened?
So, oh my god. So, I myself am a huge fan of Nitro Circus and Jackass, like all that shit. We got to meet him because Ricky was taking us to the comedy night. So it was me, Jay, Ricky, and Steve-O.
So Ricky is Banks, by the way, for those.
Yeah,
who don't
Ricky's
know.
Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was on that night, and that was the first comedy show we've ever been to.
Yeah.
And so we went to that, and Steve-O was telling some like shit on stage about like how he did this thing called plane jacking, and it was his own like idea, and he like jumped out of a plane while nutting, and it's like, oh my god, it was
What the-
it was
Yeah.
music to my ears, dude, music to my ears.
It reminded me of what like Mason's gonna be like in about 20 years. Just fucked up stories
And that's
on
the
like
thing.
a.
I genuinely
see
think that
myself
like,
like that too.
by the time that Mason is Steve-O's age, well, Steve-O must be like late 40s now, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
by the time Mason's Steve-O's age, he's probably going to sort himself out quite a lot. He's probably actually going to be like just a really fun guy to be around, but still kind of also a little bit crazy at the same time. But the stories you're going to have, like,
Oh my
they're gonna
god.
they're going to be great. Like,
Nuts.
I'm ready.
yeah.
But that was so iconic. Like Steve-O driving us to his own comedy show. Like that.
Oh,
that's
that
pretty
was
sick.
awesome.
Was it in a nice car?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a. Oh, I can't.
It was the
remember
LA.
what
It was like one of the biggest comedy places in LA. Like a lot of people were there.
Yeah.
Right.
He had a cozy little car with like dog fur on his seats.
Yeah.
He's such a dude.
That's
He's
amazing.
such a dude.
I wish I met him.
Such a
I wish I
normal
said
guy.
I used to watch Jackass all the time when I was younger. I actually
love it.
When I was in primary school, like how old would I be? Like fucking like 9 years old or something. Me and my friends used to like do like our own child version of Jackass. We would just do dumb shit like try and jump down like really long flights of stairs or like we were doing like really like shit that we should not have been doing for our age because we watched lots of Jackass. Like when I first found
Yeah.
YouTube, some of the first videos I was watching was like Bam Margera like light himself on fire and all this shit. Like I love that stuff. I wish I met Steve-O. He seems like such a cool dude now as well. It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
surprising that he's as intelligent and was like okay mentally as he is now, considering everything he
Yeah.
went through. Like he's got to have
Yeah,
some
he's
fucking
super straight
battle
edge.
scars.
Like he doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah,
doesn't-
he's totally sober now, right?
Completely sober. Yeah.
Damn. Respect for him,
Yeah.
man. I mean, nothing but
Yeah,
the
for
best
sure.
for Steve-O. What a legend.
Steve-O, if you're listening to this and you want to be on the podcast, just let us know.
Yeah, Steve-O's definitely our biggest fan. Anything else happened in LA that's memorable, noteworthy?
No, just went mental and nearly killed myself.
Do you want to? I guess we shouldn't talk about that. There's some things in LA that we cannot talk about ever.
Yeah. Literally ever like classified information.
Yeah, not because of anything illegal, but just because it's just
Yeah.
not something we can talk about.
Nothing to do with me anymore, mind you. All right.
No, it's all in the past as far as I'm concerned. LA was just a wild experience, and my going in, my perception of the city was like, oh, LA seems like a cool place to live. Like lots of content creators live out there, kind of thing. I was pretty optimistic about it. Now that I've been and I've experienced what it's like to hang out with lots of like really big content creators, don't want to go. I'll never get any work done.
Yeah.
Like-
no doubt. Also, shout out to Bucks. Bucks is the fucking man.
Bucks is the man, dude.
Yeah.
Love you,
He like
Bucks.
helped Mason a lot.
He was something, dude. He's a friend for
Dude,
life.
when Bucks first came up to the house, we like all got high and watched YouTube videos till like 8 o'clock in the morning. We leave the theater room. It's like light outside. I felt the worst and the best I've ever felt in my life at the same time. Like, yeah, Bucks is a good guy. Bucks is fun to hang out with. It's a shame. We were going to see him in Germany, but now that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see him at future events, I'm sure. Okay. Guys, we've still got 10 minutes to fill. I feel like I'm always the one to bring up new things to say. Anyone else got anything else?
come on,
wanna
mate.
add?
Don't take all
It's true.
the
It's true.
topic.
I'm always the
If
one
we're
who's
on the
like moving it
topic-
along.
If we're on the topic of Bucks, like maybe we could talk about that one time we went to that club in Barcelona with him, and he ordered the whole thing of fucking Grey Goose. That was okay. I remember that we went to a bar, and we picked up some chicks, and then we went to a club, and we were on our way to the club. We each have a girl for ourselves, and we go into the club, and it's just blaring music, and we're trying to talk to each other, and I remember I had to take out my iPhone, and get notes so that we could communicate. He would type, and then I would read, and then I would type, and he would read. And we were going to get like a seating area in a lounge room, like right up, like kind of by the DJ. And so I'm like asking Bucks like on the notes, like, how expensive is this? He's like, yeah, you got to pay me $200. Like we'll like you'll sort this out. And I was like, okay. And we sit down, and we get this big ass drink menu. How many liters was the bottle of Grey Goose that we fucking got?
Grey Goose vodka? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Right.
straight vodka. It was a huge fucking bottle. It was like two 2-liter Coke bottles like on top of each other. It was huge.
What the fuck?
And it was in
liters?
this. Yeah, it was in this giant like ice bucket too.
What?
It was fucked. And we just started drinking. Yeah, let me see if I can go down. Yeah,
They're 3,000 mils, so they're 3 liters.
yeah. When like I remember he ordered it, and then I started typing on my notes. So this is how it went. I go, "What's the plan?" And then he typed, "Get really drunk and not remember anything." And then I typed below that, "Sounds like a good plan." And then, like, I was trying to open the bottle, like the cork of the bottle, and I couldn't fucking open it. No one could open it. And everyone was, like, grabbing the bottle and trying to twist it open to be like, "Oh, yeah, look at me, I'm manly, I can twist open the thing." But nobody could fucking do it. We had to get, like, a lady to screw it off. And he goes, "I'm not being a pussy, but I can't open that, LOL." And then I said, "It's legit hard to open that vodka."
My God.
And then there's yeah. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the notes. The rest is literally AFDGF peel.
Oh my God.
So
Is that the drunkest you've ever been?
I can't
no,
remember.
drunkest
Dude, I
I've
can't
ever
remember.
been was at Poland.
Oh,
Dude, because Mason was mad because Buck's friend took the girl that he wanted to take. And so he I could see how pissed off he was getting, like almost tears in his eyes. And then he goes
No,
and
come
he
on.
grabs.
No. I wasn't pissed. I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to have a good night and just do my own thing.
Yeah,
That
and a
was
good
what I was
night
gonna
to
do.
you was going over to grab the bottle and then you use your bottom hand, your left hand to get the bottom, and then tilt it up, and you're chugging this bottle of Grey Goose. I counted at least 7 seconds of you straight going.
Oh my God.
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Is it gonna stop?" And then I just go, "Okay, stop, enough." And I had to like grab the bottle and put it off of him. And he just looked at me like there's vodka dripping down his chin and like off of his lips, and he was just like squinting. He looked so cross-eyed and fucked. I was like, "Oh man." And then you took that girl home, and then your condom fell off.
Okay, enough of that.
You don't want to talk about that, Mason? You don't want to talk about that?
No,
Yeah, you want to talk about your possible
What?
kid?
What? Just in case your kid listens to this one day?
I'm not paying child support.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
It's literally
Like
the
father,
deadbeat
like
dad
son.
cycle. Literally the deadbeat dad cycle.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Good night, though. Good fucking night.
Yeah, it was a fun fucking night.
Yeah, Swagger is great when he's drunk. We got to get drunk,
Oh,
just drunk in Melbourne.
Yeah, just drunk would be fun.
That'd be a good time for sure. Man,
I'm like
I mean,
completely different energy when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It's like a whole nother thing.
It is. It's so funny. I remember you like flopping over on the sofa in fucking Germany.
It was so cute when Swagger came up to me and he's just like, when we were in Poland and he was more drunk than he's ever been before, he's just like, Don,
I'm so
I
fucked.
gotta stop, I'm done. I'm so drunk, I've never been this drunk in my life. I went and got him this like pint glass, like a massive pint glass filled with tea. I was like,
It was so
fucking
good.
drink this.
It helped me so much, dude. Because my usual like way of life when it comes to drinking, you take a shot, you feel yourself get a little drunk. You take another shot, you feel yourself get a little bit more drunk. I was on like my 8th shot and like 3 beers, and then I took another shot, and then I didn't feel myself get any more drunk. And that's usually the time where I go, yeah, I'm not going to drink anymore. But not that night, because I was in Poland. So I had like maybe 3 or 4 shots over the, I should probably stop limit. And holy shit, could barely stand, could barely do anything. I literally leaned up, like there was a bunch of pool tables and there was like a booth. I leaned up against this booth and I just slid down it and just lied down in the middle of the fucking room. And then I just asked John, I was like, can we go home? And he was like, we should probably go home. And I think we told that story.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's in episode 1, Poland story.
Yeah.
So far.
Do you guys want to hear my story of the most drunk I've ever been?
Sure.
Not really, to be honest.
Maybe
I'm
next
just saying.
podcast.
We still got like
No, yeah,
5
for
minutes,
sure.
I think, to get to the hour. So, we got a little bit to go. All right, I'll be brief. I'll be quick. I mean, it's not that long of a story. It was when I was at oh man, it was when I was doing YouTube full time. So it was actually kind of recent. But I was living in Wellington in my old city, and I was staying with a bunch of my flatmates. So I was like getting drunk a lot more than I do now. Like now I'm like very sober. Like I don't get drunk or anything when I'm at home at all now. But back then I did, because my flatmates were like uni students and like bartenders. So, it was kind of inevitable. But no, basically beer pong plus shots, not a good combination. By the time I got to town and by the time I got to one of the clubs, like all I remember of the night was I walked in, I saw this really tall, like beautiful woman, like so beautiful. Like I was like, I want to fuck you. I want to fuck you.
Was she the fuck you and your pussy? Was she the same height as you or shorter?
She was only just shorter than me, but that's a fucking rare sight.
Whoa.
She was. I think she was in heels, but like she was like
2 giraffes mating.
I was like, she's the one. And I remember
I
just
want
like
to reproduce.
I locked in, I went straight towards her, and then I don't remember anything. And I had to get like and I wake up the next morning, and I wake up, my head's fucking hurting, obviously. I'm in my underwear. I roll over, there's just a bucket on the ground with like a bit of vomit and like some toilet paper inside of it. I'm like, what the fuck happened last night? I stumble out of my room, and like this is a total shithole apartment, by the way. Like the worst place I've ever lived. Like floor was concrete, like it's sticky from beer, like very much like the grungiest student bartender, like 20-year-old apartment you could ever see. My flatmates are outside, like in their like dressing gowns from the night before. They just fucking laugh at me. They just point at me and they just laugh at me. I'm like, fucking what happened, boys? They fill me in. So basically what happened is I beelined it for this girl. I like tried to like dance with her and shit, but I was just like fucking stumbling around and like bumping into people. So she was obviously like, what the fuck, creep? Like, get the fuck away from me. Then apparently I disappeared from sight. And I went to the bathroom. My flatmate Dom doesn't realize this for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, where the fuck's Fitz? And he like asked one of the bartender ladies, he's like, have you seen my buddy? He's like real fucking tall, looks like a retard. She was like, oh yeah, like he's passed out. I'm pretty sure he's passed out in the woman's bathroom. Dom's like, Dom's like, oh no, what's going on? Dom opens up the woman's bathroom. He's like, Fitz, you in here, buddy? Apparently I just groan. He like goes over to the end stall. I am slouched over in the woman's bathroom, deck out, pants down, covered in vomit, like literally, like this. I looked fucking rank. And Dom was like always like the flat dad. He was like older than all of us, so he's like, "Fucking here we go." So he like has to help me get up. I'm practically unconscious at this point. He helps me stand up. He like lifts my pants up, fucking like buckles me up and shit, like fucking like brushes me off a little bit with a paper towel. I'm like, fuck Dom, you're the best friend ever, man. I was so scared. He walks all the way home with me, the absolute legend. Because, man. We can't afford like Ubers back then. So like he's just like walking me home, like, and it's probably about a 10-minute walk. So we're stumbling through the streets with me on his arm. And by the time he gets home, all my other flatmates are home as well when they come in the door. So like Dom comes in, the door with me on his arm, covered in vomit, looking like an absolute wreck, and everyone just starts laughing at me. They take off my pants and stuff, and like to my underwear, and they like throw me in the shower, just like spray me with the hose and shit, because like they knew that like I would appreciate it in the morning if I was not covered in
Hosing off
vomit
a
when I went
dog.
to sleep, right? Yeah, like they were doing like the lad's duty at this point, like literally just taking care of one of their own. They hose me off. They like put me to bed. They give me a big old glass of water, and that was that. And then that's what happened before I woke up.
Imagine being a lady in that club and going to the end stall and opening it and seeing a guy covered in vomit with his dick out and his pants around his ankles.
Dude, I must have looked like the sorriest sight. I must have looked like the sorriest sight. Like, cannot even.
Oh my god!
I honestly am embarrassed, like, for Dom for this day for having to deal with that. Like, I owe him
it's
my
hilarious.
life. He didn't even give me a hard time about it afterwards. He was like, yeah, just what you got to do, man. I'm sure you'd do the same. I'm like, yeah, but you wouldn't be in the same situation as me because you're not a fucking retard. But, yeah. That's
All
my
right.
story.
That's a wholesome story to end off on.
Probably, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I mean, yeah, this has been the Misfits podcast. Thanks for listening. It's good to have the whole gang back, finally.
Yes.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah.
And by the
Show.
way, Swagger farted during this podcast. Can you find the timestamp? I'll leave that to you. This has been the Misfits podcast. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. We'll be seeing you in the next one. This has been us. And yeah, goodbye.
Bye. Bye. You fucking idiots.
Bye.